Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul binti Irwan and I'm here to present about total acid number. Total acid number is a measure of acid concentration that presents in a lubricant. So it depends on a presence of additive package, acid contamination and oxidation by a product. Depletion of additive package will cause to initial decrease in a total acid number of a fresh oil by the accumulation of oxidation by product, and acidic contamination will always lead to decrease of total acid number. This test is important in industrial machinery because if a lubricant have a high concentration of acidic compound, it can lead to corrosion of a machinery pipe and clog in a filter due to formation of a varnish and a sludge. Total acid number is determined by the amount of potassium hydroxide that required to neutralize the acid in an oil sample. Total acid number is tested with UTeM standard that can be separated into two categories. The first one is potentiometric, and the second one is colorimetric. The objective is to understand the role of acid number as tool to monitor condition of machine, and the last one is to analyze the acid number changes. That's all from me. So I pass to my teammate to present the next point.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is binti Hussein Muhammad, and I will explain about result of lab 2 total acid number. For the result for the first part is titration solvent. The titration solvent is assumed 1 liter. To find out the volume of toluene, isopropyl alcohol and water is by using the ratio 100 to 1 to 99. 100 is for toluene, 1 is for water, and 99 is for isopropyl alcohol. So the volume in milliliter for toluene is 500 milliliter, for isopropyl alcohol is 495 milliliter, and for water is 5 milliliter. Next is for the titrant. The titrant used is potassium hydroxide solution, KOH. The concentration used for the potassium hydroxide solution is 0.1 molarity. Next, for the total acid number data, there are two types of sample, which is blank and other 5, which is engine oil 10W40 new, engine oil 10W40 that was used for 9,500 km. The third one is hydraulic mineral oil ISO VG32 new, hydraulic mineral oil ISO VG32 used at station 1, and hydraulic mineral oil ISO VG32 used at station 2. That have been used for all those 5 types are approximately 20 gram. The total consumed B, which is potassium hydroxide solution required for the titration of the blank, is by taking N level and minus with start level, and we will get 0.3 milliliter. To find out the total consumed A, which is potassium hydroxide solution required for the titration for the sample, is by taking the N level and minus with start level, and for the first sample we will get 7.3 milliliter. For the second type of sample we will get 16.7 milliliter. For the third sample we will get 1.7 milliliter. For the fourth is 8 milliliter, and for the fifth is 3.1 milliliter. To find out the total acid number of potassium hydroxide solution is by taking A minus B times with the molarity of the potassium hydroxide solution times with 56.1 and divided by sample use, the weight of sample use. Okay, by using the formula given, we will find out the total acid number for all those 5 types of sample. For the first type is 1.962 mg of potassium hydroxide per gram sample. For the second type is 4.592 mg of potassium hydroxide per gram sample. For the third is 0.377 mg of potassium hydroxide per gram sample. For the fourth type is 2.144 mg of potassium hydroxide per gram sample. And then for the last type is 0.786 mg of potassium hydroxide per gram sample. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Muhammad Nazirul bin Wan Omar. Today, I want to continue about this lesson, which is total acid number. I want to explain about procedure methodology. Okay. First step, add 100 mm isopropanol into 250 mm aluminum flask. Aluminum flask is used to hold and mix chemical. The small neck is to facilitate mixing without spilling. Okay, for the isopropanol function is isopropanol alcohol is mixed with water for use rubbing alcohol and antiseptic. It is also used in aftershave, lotion, hand lotion, and other cosmetic. In industry, it is used as an inexpensive solvent for cosmetic, drugs, shellacs, and gum, as well as for determining ethanol. And for second step, add approximately 10 drops of phenolphthalein indicator solution. Okay. In general, a function approximation problem asks us to select a function among a well-defined class the closely matched approximate a target function in a task-specific way. The need for function approximation arises in many branches of science and chemical in particular. For the third step, pour weight sample of approximately 20 grams into the solvent. And the fifth step, titrate while stirring with potassium hydroxide titrant to the endpoint for at least 15 seconds. Potassium hydroxide it is used in various chemical, industry and manufacturing. Industrial and manufacturing application. And potassium hydroxide is also a precursor to other potassium compounds. And potassium hydroxide is used in food to adjust pH as a stabilizer and as a thickening agent. And for the last step, record the millimeter of titrant consumed. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Akila Zayani binti Zainuddin, and I will proceed to the last part of this experiment, which is the discussion of total acid number. As we know, total acid number is used to test the quantity of acidic component in an oil sample. This test determines the amount of soluble or nearly soluble acids in a dissolved sample. Therefore, a rapid increase in total acid number are caused by the excessive degradation. Meanwhile, a steady increase are caused by the oxidation over time or temperature. Besides that, oxidative condition of hydraulic oil determined by the absolute measure of the total acid concentration. And these substances have caused the oil to be darkened, increasing in viscosity, reducing foaming resistance and air release. Furthermore, oils with a high acid number will form an undesirable gum on metal surfaces, and high acid number are also associated with increased viscosity of pumping nozzles and system corrosion, especially in the presence of water. However, although acid number values are often used as a measure of lubricant degradation in service, there is no established relation between acid number and the corrosive activity of oil towards metals. And a combination of compounds with a wide variety of corrosion properties contribute to the acid number increasing. Therefore, this test cannot be used to predict the corrosiveness of oil being used under service conditions. For the limit of total acid number, typical warning limits for the acid number of an in-service turbine oil will be approximately 0.1 to 0.2 mg KOH per gram for gas turbines with more than 3,000 hours of oil life. And this may be a significant indicator of above normal degradation. An acid number increase of 0.3 to 0.4 mg KOH per gram above the initial value will likely indicate that the oil is at or approaching its end of service life. This recommend warning limit falls in line with that of ASTM D4378 as well. Even though results may vary from sample to sample, any small increase of the acid numbers should cause concern and prompt an investigation as well as more frequent oil sampling. Lastly, from this experiment, we can conclude that the total acid number is used as a tool to monitor machinery condition and to analyze the source of acid number changes on oil sample. And total acid number for each oil is different, depends on their solution titration of the sample, of the blind molarity solution and sample use itself. And the change of the acid number will affect performance of the car engine. For instance, the corrosion of the metal parts of the engine. And for that, that's all from us. Thank you.